15th of August, Rabbi First, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi. Eikev.
Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentions, Rabbi Shlomo First Year Yeshiva Samanaf Yerushalayim Kiryat Zoom. Our share on Erev Shabbos, Parshas Eikev, Shan Tashin Pei Hey. Okay, we're going to discuss one particular topic which needs a lot of reinforcement in our day and age. And if you want to turn in your Chumash, if you happen to have a Chumash which has a Targum, that'll be very useful for today's shir. If not, we'll still be able to go along. But having a Targum would be very worthwhile.
Unkelos.
Okay. Turn to you'll start by Chamishi. That's in Perek Yud, Pasuk Yud Beis. Yeah. If you have it there.
Yud Beis.
Mm-hmm.
V'ata Yisrael ma Hashem Elokecha shoel me'imach ki im le'yirah es Hashem Elokecha laleches b'chol derachav ula ahava oso v'la'avod es Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavacha v'chol nafshecha. And now, Israel, what does Hashem your God ask of you but to revere Hashem your God and to go in all his ways and to love him and to serve the Lord your God with all of your heart and with all of your soul. Rashi says,
Right.
And now is Israel, even though you have done all this, his compassion and his affection are still upon you. And out of all that you have sinned before him, he does not ask of you but to revere, etc. But our rabbis expounded from here, everything is in the hands of heaven except for the fear of heaven.
Okay, very good. I just repeat that first part of the Rashi.
Hang on.
Also calls those, meaning what Moshe Rabbeinu has been talking about up till now, all the various different tochachas, right? In spite of all those things, right? What does it say? It says, Odenu rachamav v'chivasoi aleihim. What does that mean again?
Although you turned away from him, no, I'm sorry. Even though you have done all this,
Right, go ahead.
his compassion and his affection are still upon you. And out of all
So
that you did before him,
Rashi mentions, right. Rashi mentions two things: compassion and affection. Okay? There are two things here that Rashi is emphasizing. Hashem still has compassion, mercy upon us, and he still has affection for us, in spite of all the things we've done. Now, let's look at the Targum here.
Okay. V'ata Yisrael, Afal Pi She Ashisam Kol Zos Odenu Rachamav V'chav San V'chav So Aleichem. So even though Shasisam, that you have done all of this, Odenu, I don't know.
Is it that you're reading that's Rashi again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be doing the Unclus. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Ucha'an Yisrael ma Hashem Elakav Tava Minach Alehen V'midchal Kadam Hashem Elakacha. I don't know. I don't think I can translate this.
All right, so it says Khan, meaning right, meaning at this point, Khan Israel, right now, at this point, Israel, Ma Hashem Elokecha Tava Minak. Tava means to require. What does he require from you? L'midchal Kadam Hashem Elokecha L'mahech L'kor Archan L'saknan Kadamohi. That Midchal Kadam, that you should Midchal Kadam Hashem. That means that you should be in awe before Hashem. You should should be in awe in relationship to your Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Lamach bikol orchan, that you should be going with it in all your ways. Visaknan kademohi, you should be there fixed for you constantly. And this is the main word, lemircham yaseh. Lemircham should have, you see the source of that word, lemircham is the resh ches mem, rachem, right? That's the same source of the word that Rashi used, rach manov, the mercy, compassion. Now, this is the main point. We'll see several examples this morning, and I've mentioned this before, that I've never found an exception. There may be exceptions, but I've never found an exception. But wherever the Torah uses the word ava, in all contexts, and we'll see several different contexts here in this week's Parsha, whenever the Torah uses the word ava, the Targum is always Targum it with the shorish of the word rachem, meaning to have mercy. So that teaches me that when the Torah is referring to Ava, the meaning of that is to have mercy, which is something which is very, very important for us, especially living in the Western modern culture that we are surrounded in and with, that the word and the the word and the concept of Ava which people usually translate as love, has been very seriously corrupted, and we no longer really understand what the true meaning of the word Ava is. But
Yes.
when you look at the Targum, as I've said, in all contexts, it's always a principle based on compassion, on mercy, on Rahmanis. Right? That Ava, according to the Torah's perspective, according to Kadosh Baruch Hu's perspective, Ava is not an emotion. It's not an emotion whatsoever. That could be the emotion, could be, as Rashi mentioned, chivasoi, to be cherished, have affection. Chivasoi, that could be affection, right? But Ava is not affection. Ava is what we call Rachmanis, compassion, mercy, because the situation, the interaction of those who have Ava between themselves is that of having mercy one person to the next, not necessarily having affection.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go further. We're going to see some more examples of this as we go further on. Let's see the next pasuk.
We're back to the Torah.
Right.
Okay, Yud Gimel. Lishmor es mitzvos Hashem ve'es chukav asher anochi mitzavcha hayom letov lach. To guard the commandments of Hashem and his laws that I command you today for good for you, for your benefit.
Very good. That you should realize and you should know that all the mitzvahs that Hashem is commanding us, they're purposely and ultimately for our good. Take a look at Rashi. Rashi reinforces this point.
Rashi says, "Va'af ki lo lechinam." Also, this is not without compensation. Chinam, I guess, is compensation. Ella, rather, the tov lach, for your benefit. Shetikablu schar, that you will receive reward.
Now that's a bit surprising. The toivlach that Rashi is explaining here, the toivlach is that we're going to get rewarded for the mitzvahs. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah, since there's a principle that there's no reward for a mitzvah.
That's Olam Hazeh, correct, right? That's an Olam Hazeh. But we know that there is a reward for the mitzvahs in Olam Haba. But so Rashi, according to Rashi, the Tovlach is supposed to be a reference to that of our reward, apparently in Olam Haba. I'm just trying to look this up a bit. You're right. Just on this point, you might remember in the sixth parak of Pirkei Avos, if you have a Pirkei Avos nearby, just to review this would be worth worthwhile. This is reinforcing this.
Here arrow six what?
It's in my edition. It's going to be in toward the end of Gimel, just before Dalet. Gimel is very long. It starts off here. You'll recognize it. Um, uh, no, actually, I think it would be Dalet. Look in Dalet. Kachi darkish Torah. This is the way of Torah. Pas b'melach tocho, b'mayim b'sur tishte. Hala arts tisha. You have it there?
Yeah, I have it. Such is the way of Torah study. Eat a piece of bread with salt, drink water in rationed measure, sleep on the ground, and live a life of hardship. And in the Torah do you toil. If you do so, happy shall you be, and it shall be well with you. Happy shall you be in this world, and it shall be well with you in the world to come.
That's the point. So it says here, because it says, right? Imata osa kain ashrecha v'toivlach. Fortunate, and it's good for you. Ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. It's fortunate. It'll be fortunate for you in olam hazeh. V'toivlach la'olam haba. The toiv is going to be for you in olam haba. So that matches very good with Rashi here.
Well, I mean,
See it?
I don't think it does because I was going to say it seems to me that if it wants to say you'll get rewarded in the world to come, I have no problem with that. But there's definitely a benefit in this world that our lives are improved if we're following Hashem's mitzvahs. If we're doing Hashem's mitzvahs, then we're going to have better lives than if we're not. Now, the Mishnah that we just quoted says that, but Rashi doesn't.
Right. Well, so our Mishnah is saying ashrecha ba'olam hazeh, right? V'toiv lach ba'olam haba. The toiv, according to the Rashi, to the Mishnah in Avos, the Bryce in Avos, is in olam haba. Yeah. More specific. Interesting. Um, Tov Lecha, the Kablan Skar. All right. Okay. Fine. Let Okay. Let's continue on. Just make that point there.
Okay,
Something to
so we're back
look
to
into it.
the Torah.
Back to the Chumash, right?
Okay, so Hein LaHashem Elokecha Hashemayim Ushmei Hashemayim Haaretz V'chol Asher Bam. So let's see. Hein. With grace, Hashem, your God. I'm sorry, Hein.
Hey, meaning hey, like usually means like it's true.
It's true that Hashem, your God, uh, um, I guess to Hashem, your God, is the heavens and the heavens of the heavens, the earth and all that is in them, in it. This Rashi is on 14:15, so let me read 15 and then I'll go to Rashi.
Good, very good.
Ba'avosecha chashak Hashem la'ava osam v'yivchar bizar achareihem b'chol mikol ha'amim kiyom hazeh. Only with love did Hashem cherish them, and he chose their offspring after them, bechem, with you, from among the nations as this day. So
Yeah,
Rashi,
but let's translate that again. How do we want to translate it again? This pasuk again?
let me read the English. Behold, to Hashem your God are the heavens and the highest heavens, the earth and everything that is in it. Only your forefathers did Hashem cherish to love them, and he chose their offspring after them, you, from among all the peoples as this day.
So what's the connection? Why are the two psukim connected? What's the connection between the two psukim?
That's a good
The
question.
first pasuk. Yeah, Mary, you wanted to say something, Mary?
No, I didn't have any thoughts of it yet. Let me see.
Okay. The first pasuk is pointing out you should know everything is the Shem. Everything, the Shemayim, Shemei Shemayim, whatever that is, the higher heavens, the heavens that are higher, the Aretz, Asher, Kol Asher Bam, everything's to Hashem. And then the second person comes in, Rak. You should know only you, because of your forefathers, because of the love that Hashem had to cherish your forefathers. That's why Hashem has chosen you from all the peoples that exist. Let's take a look at Rashi, Yudalid.
Rashi says, "Behold, to Hashem your God, Hakol is everything. Af al pi chen, even though Rak be'avosecha chashak Hashem. Only your forefathers did Hashem cherish. Min Hakol, more than everything else. Uve zaram, and their offspring. B'mi, who? Bechem, you. Kamo she'atem ro'im, as you see, atem chashukim, you are cherished. Mikol ha'amim, from all the nations. Hayom hazeh, this day.
Okay, so let's go first to the Targum. Okay, then we'll discuss a little bit more about the Rashi and the Pasuk. Let's look at the Targum again.
Okay, so we're on Yud Dalid.
I know you could start with Tesvav. Leave Yudalid from just Tesvav in the
L'chod ba'a v'chasam tzavei Hashem l'mircham yashon e tir'e bivhon rehon l'chol mikol amaya kiyoma hadin. I don't know, you better take over.
Okay, it says like this. L'chud, meaning exclusively. Ba'avasach, Sevei Hashem. That exclusively the Kadosh Baruch Hu had a affection for your forefathers. This is the word again, L'mircham yashon, and to, as the Torah said, to love them, but here the Targum goes again, the mircham, to have compassion upon them. That Hashem had a special affection for the Avos, Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu, and because of that affection, he had a special Rachmanas, a special love, a special compassion upon them. And that also now shifted to their offspring as well, even to us, even to this very day. So that affection that caused compassion to precipitate upon the avos and their offspring, that exists. That love, that rachmanis, exists even to this very day. You should know that you're still benefiting from the affection that Hashem had for your forefathers, Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu. Okay, let's go further in the psukim.
Umalatem ace ar las v'vavchem ve'ar pechem lo sak shu od. You shall cut away the barrier of your heart and no longer stiffen your neck. Rashi says, ar las levavchem, o tem levavchem, the blocking of your heart, the chi to yo, and its covering.
So now this needs a little work here. What is this in reference to here?
Well, it seems like it's a metaphor to the bris. Because the word orla usually means foreskin, right?
Right.
But here they translate it as barrier.
Right. So that's usually what the foreskin is there for. The foreskin is there to act as a barrier, right? So likewise, just like the foreskin is covering and acting as a barrier for the bris, so by the lave also, we're speaking more in terms of spiritual and emotional aspects here rather than actual physical, but the heart, and as we say many times when the expression heart is used, it's talking about the mind, the intelligence, the intellect of a person, not necessarily his physical heart. So you have a barrier, an enclosure of the intelligence, the intellect, and therefore it can't interact with its environment in a proper way. Okay, so the question is, what this pasuk seems to be a little out of place in the big picture of all these psukim we've been learning up till now. It doesn't seem so appropriate to mention that over here.
Well, it seems like in in 15, it's saying that it's not because of us, it's because of our forefathers. We're not really worthy on our own account. And then it says now you've got to, I guess now it says now you've got to earn your keep.
Right. It's meaning Hashem favors you. He has a special affection for you, but that's because of the forefathers, the avos. but you're not entitled to that automatically. Therefore, you should prepare yourselves, and what's here in this case, to prepare yourself by removing the foreskin from your hearts, those barriers between. Now we have to try to understand what's the barrier between.
That's probably the end of the pasuk where it says, no longer should you stiffen your neck, which I think we said the other day that means to be proud.
Mhm.
But
That would fit in well. You go ahead, Lou. What explain? Go ahead.
I don't know why that's inserted in here. What is that? Is that the sin that we committed? We were stiff-necked?
It could be that the being stiff-necked is just an outcome of something which is deeper, right?
Right.
The being stiff-necked, being stubborn, being rigid, not. I mean, first of all, let's try to understand what's so bad about being stiff-necked. What's the problem with that?
Well, I mean, I could argue in the opposite direction why it's good. It would seem that um, it's an indication of character that you're not wishy-washy. You don't just flip-flop with with small reason. You stick to your guns. You stand by your position.
Right.
So what? So I guess the thing that's bad about it is that if you go too far, that you don't listen to reason. You don't let anything dissuade you from your position, no matter how obvious it is that you're wrong.
So you're right. When this being stiff-necked is being it's a meter, and like any other characteristic, you have to be wise in how you employ it. So if it's employed correctly, it can be beneficial. If it's not employed correctly, so it can be detrimental,
Right.
right? So I believe this is this when it's being referring to Kadosh Baruch Hu, there's uh there's no reason why people should be why the people, the collective group or the individuals, they should be stiff-necked when they're dealing with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. If you know and understand and accept that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is ultimately good, then you have you have no reason to be resistant and stiff-necked about anything when it comes to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's only, as this pasuk points out, that when your heart is covered over, when your heart is when there's a barrier between your heart and the Kadosh Baruch Hu, then that's going to cause difficulties. And you're not going to be freely able to receive the mercy, the ava, the compassion that Akash Baruch wants to dispose upon you because of his love for the avos. So therefore, that's what this pasuk is doing here. Remove the orla from your lave, that barrier which is interfering with your receiving the good from Akash Baruch Hu, which he wants to give to you because of the love that he had for the avos. Right? Remove that barrier, and then you'll be able to receive all the goodness Hashem has in store to give you. Okay, let's jump down to pasuk Yud Tes.
Yud Tes. V'ahav tem es hager ki gerim he yisem be'eretz Mitzrayim. You shall love the convert because you were converts in Egypt. Rashi says, Ki gerim hayisem mum shebecha, an imperfection that exists in you. Al tomar lacha ve'recha. Do not say to your friend, do not say.
Don't mention to your friend. Meaning, first, Gary means here more accurately. Gary means like strangers, right? Strangers, you were. So to the stranger amongst you, you should love, because you yourselves were strangers in the land of Egypt. So Rashi is curiously giving a reason for this mitzvah. This mitzvah of Ahavta Esager, right? Very strangely, Rashi seems to be giving a reason. Why should you love the ger? And here we're saying, if you look straight away, look at the Targum straight away. Yud Tes in the Targum if you have it.
Yud Tes, the tir chamun, yas giora, hare diyarin ha vesun be'ara demitz raim. And he has mercy on you.
Now you see the same word, mercy, right?
Right.
Exactly. Have compassion upon the stranger, the convert amongst you.
And we see that, what is diarrhea?
That they are dwelling how very soon. They're that you, Shahari Daran, you were Darin, you were dwelling yourselves as strangers in the land of Egypt.
So Hashem should have, or we should have mercy on the strangers in our midst because we were strangers in their midst.
That seems to be what the pasuk is saying, right? Now, does that make much sense?
Not really.
Yeah, why? Go ahead, explain.
Well, we had a terrible experience in Egypt. Uh, we were enslaved. So uh, I guess you say, well, so we should have mercy on them because we empathize with them.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I guess that's the point.
So now let's try fit Rashi into this. Go back to Rashi for a moment.
So Rashi says an imperfection that exists in you. Uh, it's the fact that we were slaves is an imperfection.
Apparently, according to Rashi, that seems to be the case.
It says, "Do not taunt another with a flaw you share in common with him." That's my English says that.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, I have a commentary on here. It says, "For you were strangers is not a reason to feel love towards a stranger." The verse means that only you should not verbally disparage the stranger, and therefore you disparage, for thereby you would disparage yourself. I don't know. This is difficult.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be fitting in with the pasuk itself. It's going to love the ger, should have compassion upon the ger.
Right. Right. The English says, "You shall love the convert, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt."
Right. And so the inference you can make from that, if we weren't strangers in Egypt, we wouldn't have to love the ger. I would say we'd still have to love the ger, even if we weren't strangers in Egypt.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
One minute. Let's see. Let's see if anyone speaks about this a bit. Let's see here. One second. No, I don't see too much discussion about this. One second.
I'm just looking at the context here. It says,
Yeah,
you should not take a bribe, do not show favor. Um, uh, judge the orphan and the widow, love the convert, and give him bread and garment. And then it says, you shall love the convert, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Which is kind of redundant. It just said, love the convert and give him bread and garment.
right. See, they do. Some of the Mephoshim do contrast this. That there's a another command. That's a command in uh, yeah. And if I don't know if you have a in Shmos, if you want to look in Shmos for a moment,
Where?
that will be in Parshas Mishpatim, Perek Chav Beis, Pasuk Chav.
Cuff base. Yacharam Bilti Lashem Levado.
One second. Pasuk Chav Beis, Pasuk Chav, 22:20.
Cuff base. Cuff. I think so. Yud Tet.
22.
Uh, but something's funny with my. Oh yeah, it says you shall not abuse the stranger, and you shall not oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. That sounds like our subject.
Right. So, so the Mephoshim juxtapose these two psukim. So you really to understand what Rashi is really talking about by us, you have to really understand what that pasuk in Shmos is talking about as well.
Right. So Rashi, there's a long Rashi on it. It says, you shall not abuse a stranger. This refers to verbal harassment, like the word mo nayich, and I shall feed those who harass you their own flesh. And you shall not oppress him through robbery of his property. For you were strangers. And if you abuse him, he too can abuse you and say to you, you too came from strangers. Do not accuse your friend of a flaw that you yourself have. And he uses the term ger, stranger, in the Torah means a person who was not born in that country where he presently resides, but rather came from another country to sojourn there. Okay. That's not very helpful.
Right. So therefore, our Rashi here in Eikev is picking up from what the pasuk in Shmos is referring to, and now Rashi was explaining it over there as well.
Right.
So help things fit in a bit. Okay, I think that's about our time. There's a lot more to discuss, but we don't have much time here.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
Okay,
Rabbi.
Yeshikaya, hello.
Thank
Thank you, man.
Okay,
Thank you, Roy. See you. Everyone.
okay.
Hello.
Have a good Shabbos, Rabbi, first.
Have a good Shabbos.
Thank you. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Roy. Be well.
Good
Have a good
Shabbos,
Shabbos.
everybody. Be well. Well done.
Very good
Well
Shabbos,
done.
Roy.
Well done.
Shalom. Bye.